Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel for the first live review of the new season, of the 1920 season, of Chelsea's first pre-season game of the summer. And we drew 1-0 against the Bohemians in Ireland, in Dublin. And yeah, hello there, guys. How are you all doing? Let me just get up the chat, please, so I can actually see what you lot are saying. As usual, if you've never watched any of my live reviews, I always talk through my things, I guess, to an extent. And basically, after I'm done with what I have to say, then I will go to you through the chat, and then we can, you can ask a few questions, and then, we'll say a few things. I will give you a shout out, but I'm not going to even try to, pronounce your name, because I'm just going to absolutely butcher it. So I'm just going to save myself that embarrassment. Yeah. Right. Interesting game. Interesting game. I thought, bloody hell, I have too many windows open. Interesting game. I mean, I'm going to use the phone to have to line them up, because otherwise I'm definitely not going to remember every player that played today, because there was 22 exactly. But yeah, let's start it off with the lineup for the first half, which, was a decent enough lineup. It was Willy Caballero in goal. At right back, it was Dujon Sterling. Obviously, the youngster that spent last season out on loan, but in Antonio Conte's second season actually played here and there, which was interesting. Then Azpilicueta started as centre-back in a 4-2-3-1 formation in the first half. The next to him was Mark Guay. The Ivorian centre-back. I think his name is Mark. Pretty sure his name is Mark. And then at left-back, it was Mr. Kennedy. Not actually the wrestler, Mr. Kennedy, just Kennedy. The guy that used to play at Chelsea and then was a left wing, and then he played a striker for a game, and then he played left-back. And then he was out Newcastle for the last 18 months. We barely played recently, and now he played left-back today for us, which was interesting. The two holding mids were Danny Drinkwater, which is never a sign I want to see, and Mr. Ethan Ampadu, who was very impressive. I'm going to speak about him in a minute. And then the kind of front four now, as it is, Pedro was played on the right wing, Casey Palmer started on the left wing, Conor Gallagher, again, a youngster, started as the number 10, I guess, and then Michy Batshuayi started up front. Generally, the first half was decent. It wasn't the greatest game of football, by either side, but it was decent enough. And especially Michy Batshuayi looked really good. He looked really sharp. Okay, I over-exaggerate when I say he looked really good, but considering, they started training like on Friday-ish, because they travelled to Dublin on Friday, so probably started on Saturday, he looked really, really sharp. He looked really quick off the mark. He had a decent touch, which, he isn't always known for. He had a decent touch. He looked really strong. His finish, obviously he made it 1-0 in the 8th minute, which was a very lucky goal, but the finish itself was really good. So, very happy with Michy Batshuayi. Let's talk through the goal. Kennedy basically had the ball, kind of, no one tried to challenge him for the ball. He kind of just dribbled through, just a lot of people, I guess, then had a shot. In all honesty, I'm pretty sure he just shot it straight at Michy Batshuayi's arm, just at the edge of the box. It fell down to Michy Batshuayi, who did really well to hold off the defender, really tried to tackle him properly. Held him off, basically, like, wasn't even phased by the fact that he was, the defender tried to tackle him, and just blasted it into the roof of the net. Great finish. And then for the rest of the first half, we controlled it for the most part, even though, to be fair to the Bohemians, they did have a couple of chances, to the Bows, as they called them, I think. They had a couple of chances, but, a couple of players that really did stand out for me, like I said already, Ethan Ampadu, he was impressive. I mean, he pretty much is impressive every single time he plays, except VD away when he played the centre-back there last season. But, what a player he is. He just knows what he's doing. And, he's never played in midfield for Chelsea before. No, I lie. Actually, he has. But not that much, and he was really good. The pressing was good, the intensity was good, the passing was good, the control was good. He really tried to take charge of the game, unlike Danny Drinkwater next to him. And Danny Drinkwater, I mean, sometimes he just passed it straight to the opposition, like a 5-yard pass straight to the opposition. Can we just bloody sell the guy? Useless, just wasting our money on him every week. I mean, I don't even want to think about the amount of money he made just playing this dead friendly now. Ridiculous, pisses me off. And then also I want to mention Conor Gallagher. I thought he was quite decent, not incredible, but especially at the start, like first 20-25 minutes, he was decent. So I was pretty happy with that. And then we made 11 changes at halftime, which you could really expect, I guess, because we had 21 players arrive to Dublin on Friday, and then another, I think, 11 joined on Monday. So yeah, it was pretty much the entire 21 plus another one. So the entire 21 that arrived on Friday plus another one. So for the second half, it was Jamie coming in goal. Obviously, Kepa did arrive, but only arrived on Monday. He will then probably feature for the first half on Saturday when we play against St. Patrick's. Yeah, so that is that. At right back, it was Denzel Costa. At centre back, it was Trevor Chalobah, younger brother of Nate Chalobah, of course. Next to Kurt Zouma as, the two centre backs. And then it was Ian Maatsen as the left back, who I knew of, but never really watched him play properly. I saw him in, being named as the part of the squad that traveled to Ireland. I was like, oh, that's interesting. He played really well. I liked a guy like Kennedy. Like, if he at left back, it's the big no. I mean, I don't want him on the wing either, to be honest. Like, Ian Martin really showed him up. Like, the way he controls the ball, the way he defended. Yes, physically he has, he's not as far developed as Kennedy is, but he played for the under 17s this summer, like of the Dutch under 17s. Ian Martin did. So I was quite impressed by him, to be honest. I've never properly seen him play, so that's why I was, maybe I guess a bit more particularly impressed. Then in midfield. Well, 3 in the second half. I'm going to get to the tactical thing a little bit later. So we had a midfield 3 of Timu Bakayoko, obviously, returning loanee from Milan. Whether he will stay this season or not, we'll have to wait and see. But that's why he played in the second half. Then Lewis Baker, the guy who's an incredible footballer, but was always loaned out to the wrong clubs who just didn't need a footballer like him. Like, you can't loan a player like him to a lower English, division. Like that, they will completely fail. That's like, you can't put Neymar in a lower, English division when he was 18 either. Like, he would have just been murdered. Yes, they was more skillful than anybody else, but they would just be murdered. And it's even worse in centre midfield. So I really feel for Lewis Baker, and I just feel like he's missed his chance now, and it's not even his fault. But he's a great player, and I just think it's a bit too late for him to properly make it at Chelsea. But he played alongside Billy Gilmour, obviously the really young Scottish under whatever player, youth player anyway. I forgot his age, quite frankly. And then on the wings, it was Lucas Piazon, the Brazilian that has been at the club for ages and then played for a little bit and then was out on loan quite a few times, including last season, at least from January onwards. Izzy Brown on the other wing, and then Ike, is that his first name? I'm pretty sure. Ike Akpo up front. And that second half really wasn't good. I mean, we had a couple of moments early on. Billy Gilmour looked good. He had 2 chances. One he put just against not the side netting, but the kind of the extra post that, tightens the net, I guess. Don't know what that post thing is called in English. And then he had another shot with his weaker left foot that the goalkeeper did well to save. And also Timu Bakayoko had a decent enough shot that, again, the goalkeeper did well to save. But for the rest of the second half, I mean, Bohemians kind of looked a better team. I mean, we dominated for the most part and had the ball, but they looked a lot more dangerous. They had quite a few, decent chances. And then in the first minute or the last minute of injury time, really, they equalised with a really good goal through a try list. Right? Let me just get the name out quickly. It was quite funny on the Chelsea website. It said try list B scored. So the try list was called Eric Malloy. So fair play. If you're a try list and you play for a club like Bohemians, and you get a trial, and then you play against Chelsea in that trial, then you score the equaliser. Fair play to you, sir. Fair play to you. But the interesting thing I do want to mention is, of course, we struggled the second half. Like I said, Martin was decent, Billy Gilmour was decent, and also Lewis Baker, just showed again what a good footballer he actually is. But other than that, we were poor. I mean, you can't really say Asa Acosta and Trevor Chalobah and Zuma, they were poor. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all of them could have done slightly better, but, I find it difficult, even though the Bohemians had quite a few chances to really pick our defenders for being poor today. I don't know. It's just, there was just a lack of cohesion today, especially in the second half. We were really poor on the ball. Like, we took way too long to pass the ball on. It was just not great. But what I do want to mention is the tactics. Now, in the first half, it was quite a crystal clear 4-2-3-1. Now, I do apologize if we also did what I'm going to say in the second half. Well, we did in the second half. If we also did that in the first half, but to a lesser extent, I do apologize. If that was the case, I didn't see it. Like I said, this is a live review, and I watched the game, and then sometimes streams, kept crashing or buffering, and you know how it is when you watch a live stream of a game. But yeah, so in the first half, it was a clear 4-2-3-1. Then the Drinkwater and Ethan Abreu is a double pivot. I mean, sometimes Drinkwater moved a bit higher, sometimes Ethan Abreu moved a bit higher, but for the most part, they were pretty much next to each other. And Conor Gallagher played a proper number 10. And in the second half, we played more of a 4-3-3. And we actually played a 4-3-3 with a regista at times, like proper Sarri style formation-wise. Not necessarily tactics-wise. I mean, maybe Lampard wanted to, but the players just didn't do it. But proper like 4-3-3 with a regista. And that regista was Lewis Baker with Timu Bakayoko to his right, but ahead of him to his right, and then Billy Gilmour ahead of him to his left. Now, what I thought I saw, because that's what it was at times, and then other times I was like, well, now Bakayoko is way deeper and even more central. So then I was a little bit confused to what it really turned out was the case. On the ball, we had that 4-3-3 shape with that regista. We actually had that. We used that. Lewis Baker by far stayed the deepest and was there to spray the passes. which for the first 20 minutes in the second half worked all right. And as the game went on, I don't know. I mean, Bows made a couple of changes, which clearly helped them because obviously they're mid-season. So that is obviously fitness-wise, they're in a much better position than we are. So, I mean, I don't know their team. I'm not going to pretend to know their team. So I'm sure their first half team wasn't as good as the second half team. That was pretty obvious to me. Because as soon as they made like 6-7 changes or whatever they did, we struggled a lot more. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting that Frank Lampard did that, playing a regista like that, because if he plays Lewis Baker there, he can very much so play Jorginho there. And like I say, Timi Bakayoko is right. But when we were off the ball, Bakayoko dropped deeper. Bakayoko dropped deeper and kind of formed a 4-2-3-1 to an extent. Or, yeah, I guess it was still a 4-2-3-1. I mean, you couldn't even call it a 4-5-1, really. I mean, I guess you could call it a 4-4-1-1 if you really want to, but I would stick with the 4-2-3-1 to make it a little bit simpler. So he would drop deeper when we're off the ball, but then Bakayoko had the kind of the license or the instructions to move out after the ball to kind of chase and kind of press a little bit. Not like ridiculous pressing, but like just move out and chase and leave the other player in there as the kind of the single DM, I guess, in that case, Lewis Baker. And that is not all too different to what we did with under Maurizio Sarri in the more defensive games that we had when, you know, Kovacic or Kante dropped a lot deeper next to Jorginho. And that's kind of what we did today. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And I really can't wait what this proper Sarri haters, how they're going to try to justify the fact that also Frank Lampard is using a regista, because they slated it so much. And imagine Jorginho plays in that position. Imagine that. Imagine their godly, their savior, Frank Lampard, does that. Well, the traitor, the evil person that is Maurizio Sarri, you know, did that as well when they slated him for it constantly. Imagine that. I'm not sure how they're going to justify it, but I can't wait for it. I mean, the perfect justification already is, oh, Sarri's left, move on. Well, don't care whether he's left. You know, Johan Cruyff has died and still people play football. So just because someone leaves doesn't mean they're irrelevant now. So, you know, you can't put that to me. But yeah, of course, the game today, Bohemians, we should have done better, quite frankly, even 4 days into preseason. They're not even a professional football side. Like, their manager does other jobs next to it and does another job, you know, next to being their coach. And so do most of their players, if not all of their players. So, you know, we should have done a bit better. But to be fair, they did put up a good game, especially once they made a substitution in the second half, like I said already. So, you know, that was interesting. They gave us a good game. We clearly weren't ready yet. You can't expect us to be ready. And the thing is, we this season have 7 preseason games when we usually have like 3 or 4, max 5. But really, it's the same amount of preseason games, just that these kind of games that we play today and that we will play on Saturday are usually held behind closed doors and no one knows about it. Or we find out about it later, but they're not like publicly shown. But now instead, they're not just shown on TV and whatever. No, we also have to pay for them. I mean, clearly no one with a brain did, because even the Chelsea TV live stream didn't work. And then they handed it out for free anyway. And even that then didn't work, not for me anyway. So, yeah. And also, they don't even show all of the, you know, preseason games if you don't live in the UK or Ireland. And I don't live in the UK or Ireland. So, yeah, that is great. And also, they, as I'm told, cancelled the short preseason camp that was planned in Austria around the game against Red Bull Salzburg. Around that game, they cancelled that. Like, Frank Lampard just cancelled that for whatever reason, which I'm fuming about. So I was, you know, wanted to meet the players and meet Frank Lampard and, you know, take some pictures and like be, all right, how are you doing? And then, I still go to the game because that is still taking place. But yeah, I'm triggered. But yeah, so don't read too much into it. Usually we don't have preseason games so soon into preseason. Actually, I did the Perth game last season on the Saudi was much later, to be honest, and that was with a lot of jet lag. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest of preseason games, but a new manager, a very young manager, a very inexperienced manager, and a really, really young team and a very like mixed together team. Like kind of we kind of mixed so a mix of the first half team and the second half team is kind of our current best team if you take other players that didn't play today, of course. So kind of we spread it out a little bit, so it was interesting. And of course, it could have gone better. And now, guys, I'm going to go to your questions, to your comments. I hadn't read them so far. I don't forget to breathe, Jimmy. I have a lot of things to say, Jimmy. How you doing, Jimmy? When are we recording tomorrow? Patrick Bamford. I hope you're not the Patrick Bamford, because if you're a Leeds fan, I'm triggered. Needed a sip of water there. Thank you, guys. I don't know what that meant. Right, guys, what do you want to talk about? Danny Drinkwater should be sold. Yes, I completely agree. What do you think of the Batman? Yeah, I think he did well. Like I said earlier already, I think he did well. He had decent hold-up play, decent, not incredible, but decent hold-up play. Good touch, looked really sharp off the mark. Yes, he's still not the fastest striker, but his finish, as you expect from Michy Batshuayi, was incredible. Actually, incredible. It was a very good finish anyway, and he scored. And I can't really, say much to that. And Mr. Alex, I'm not going to say everything again because I literally just spoke about that. So once this live stream turns into a video, please just watch it. That'd be greatly appreciated. Kit, Kitito, we drew 1-0, mate. And yeah, also, of course, I forgot to mention it as I do on my live streams. Please do subscribe to my channel. That will be great. So if you're all here now already, because you are here clearly, so then please do watch my live stream. There's 237 of you watching. So please go down below, and 241 even. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like on this live stream. There's only 33 likes so far. There's over 240 people watching. So just scroll down a little bit and just smash the like button. It doesn't stop the live stream. But anyway, let's continue talking about that football game because it was somewhat interesting, wasn't it? You should start up front, Mr. Patrick Bamford. Maybe you should. Maybe you should. Yes, and subscribe to, and subscribe to the Attacking Two podcast as well, like Jimmy said. Who should start up front? It's a difficult question, isn't it? I mean, we saw Bishop Batshuayi today, and he did well. We are yet to see Tammy Abraham. I'm certain we will see him on Saturday because Ike Akpo, really didn't do much. And Tumomo, I think the midfield would have done better if they had someone but Agbo up front, quite frankly. We need Kante in that role. Yes, no, we don't need Kante in that role because he's played as a single DM quite a few times and it was always shocking. Kante is not a single DM. People really need to understand that. Charlie Musonda has already gone out on loan to Vitesse again. Sorry, mate, Yusuf. Myself, I would start Abraham. Yeah, it is an interesting shout. I think I don't want to start Olivier Giroud, but I think between Batshuayi and Abraham, it should just be whoever performs better. Give them both chances at the start of the season, then whoever does better should be the main starter. Yeah, I agree, Gabriel. Billy Gilmour had a really good game. I liked it. Brown, I'm never sure with Easy Brown because I always thought, he can come good. I thought that a few years ago. But I don't know. I'm still not sure whether I see him more as a winger or as a striker, and I'm not sure he knows either. I'm not sure any manager has played on the nose, and that is kind of the frustrating and annoying thing with him because he can be both, but he's not incredible at either, in my opinion. Yeah, Archie, I'm sorry, but I kind of agree. Yeah, we did concede a goal in the last minute, and it was not great. It was a good goal by them, to be fair, but I would have rather won, even if it was just 1-0. And yeah, and out of each off to China, yeah. I mean, it is still a Chelsea channel, but I guess we can talk about it. I mean, it's 30, bit soon. I still think if he didn't have his wild younger years, where he just was kicked loose a bit when he was at Inter, when he was at Werder Bremen, when he was at Twente Enschede in the Eredivisie, of course. If he didn't have his wild times, then he would have been so much of a better player right now than he would be at a much bigger club than West Ham. But it is what it is, let him go out and grab his money. Fair play to him. Yeah, I agree. Like I said earlier already, Ethan Ampadu had a really good game. I'm not sure Zuma played well. I'm not sure Zuma played well. I wouldn't say he played all badly, but I can't say he played well. No, Prince Mehin or whatever. No, I completely disagree. Baker wasn't great, but he had a good game and he really showed what a great footballer he is. He had a couple of passes, insane passes that not many players in the world can pull off. That precisely, is that the word I'm looking for? How did Kennedy fare? All right. I mean, he kind of assisted Batshuayi's goal by shooting at Batshuayi's arm, which the referee didn't notice. But other than that, didn't do much, didn't look particularly convincing defensively, didn't do anything going forward. So, yeah, Zuma's body shape is a bit scary. What do you think of Bats staying, or will we go for another season loan? Well, no, he surely has to stay. You can't go out on loan again. That is quite frankly ridiculous. What? Quite a lot of people are saying Frank Lampard out. Jose Mourinho's first preseason game was 1-0 in 2004. Well, just don't even listen to people that say Frank Lampard out now. That's a bit dumb. Gallagher and Gilmour to be given some FA Cup and League Cup appearances. How do you think? I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they're kind of in that age group where I'm like, give them a loan to Vitesse. I think that could do with professional football. and play a lot, but not in a younger English side, in a lower English division like Lewis Baker had, because that just ruins them. They're just not made for that football there. You know, send them to Vitesse, send them to Germany somewhere if you can. Send them on loan. Shut up, Melinda. Send them on loan there, and you know, I think that would fare them better. But if you know, if they don't go on loan, yeah, why not play them in the League Cup game? Bring them on at least, but just be sure play them in the youth league, of course. Play them in the under-21 sides. So yeah. Let me just read what Prince just said. I disagree with that, Prince. I mean, I might have just not seen it, but I really disagree with that. I mean, I wouldn't say Ampadu passed like Fabregas, but he did pretty all right. And guys, there's still 260 people watching. We only have 66 likes. So drop a like, please. That'd be great. And also subscribe if you haven't already. That would also very much appreciated. Lampard is a very good manager. I hope he can't. What? Is a very good. I hope he can't make it. Well, that doesn't make any sense. This was clearly the B and the C side. I don't know why people are getting worked up about the result. I don't know why people are getting worked out about the result. This isn't even the B side, quite frankly. It was a mix of the B side and the D side kind of ish. Like, yeah. Why are people saying Lem's out? If you don't understand why he started these players, it's because he wants to see who will stay with him in preseason. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Ahmed. I appreciate that. Who do you think were the 5 most impressive players today? 5. All right. Ethan Ampadu, Batshuayi, Billy Gilmer, Conor Gallagher, and Ian Martin. I'm going to go with Ian Martin over Lewis Baker because I expect more from him already because he's not that young anymore. I usually don't like live streams, but I got one for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whatever you just said. Not you, the kind of thingy. Any Chelsea WhatsApp group, please add me there. No one does Chelsea WhatsApp groups, mate. Just use Twitter. No, not Lampard out. What you on about, David Poole? I mean, bloody hell. First half team was best. Quite frankly, Luyando, I actually think they were kind of similar. The only difference was that Bohemians teams in the first half was quite a bit worse than their second half team. I think that was the main difference. Yeah, Caballero, to be fair, was decent, but Caballero is Caballero. Like, you're going to get what you're going to get. Did Bakayoko play well? Well, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great, quite frankly. You're all right, Paul. You're David. Sorry, David Paul. No, mate, you're a weird guy. Everyone with a first name as the surname is it's a bit weird, but who wants to be normal, isn't it? So maybe being weird is a bit good. Brown wasn't great. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I just read the thing what you said. Yeah, no, I saw that as well, Daniel Roberts. I saw Agba was wearing the number 20. Could be. Hudson-Odoi again to 10. Could be. Hopefully the pressure is not too much for him then. But yeah. Guys, how long have we been going? Does anyone know? Can anyone tell me that? I don't know how long we've been going for. Can anyone please tell me how long we've been going? Let's do 2 more questions and then I'll leave it there, and then I'm going to see you again soon. I was meant to do like more videos this week, a bit of a tactical analysis of Frank Lampard at Derby, a bit of the kind of what formations I'm expecting for the upcoming season. But quite frankly, uni ended for me last season and I was just a bit tired. And then I had a weekend away, which involved a lot of drinking. So I was tired when I came home as well. And I just wanted to chill for a bit. So you're going to get more like serious content, I think, probably starting next week, maybe on Friday. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Now, let's do 2 more questions and then I'm going to leave it there. Do you think Chelsea is going to make top 4 next season without Hazard? No, I don't. I don't think we're going to make top 4. Gallagher was so awesome today. He deserved a place in the first team. Not sure about that because let's not forget we played against an amateur side. I'm not sure if none of them or just a couple of them are professional players. Like, they're an amateur side. I don't think playing well against them should earn you a spot in the first team. Quite frankly, who would I start in midfield? Well, Loftus-Cheek is a given, and N'Golo Kante is a given. That's that. And it just depends on what Frank Lampard does and wants to do. I have a feeling until Ruben is back, we might play a 4-2-3-1 more regularly. But once he is back, I hope we play a 4-3-3. And it wouldn't surprise me if we did it similar to the way Sarri did it. I didn't expect it, but then he did it today. He played Register today. And if he did it today with Lewis Baker, not even Jorginho, I can see him doing it in the Prem as well. So then I liked the midfield that Sarri tried. Yes, you could be a bit more defensive with it. And also having Ruben in there generally helps over Kovacic, not only because he's better, but also he gives you a bit more physique. So that would be my midfield three, kind of regardless of the formation. But I would rather stick with a 4-3-3 rather than a 4-2-3-1. When will Pulisic arrive? I heard that he will arrive for a part of the Japan trip, so he will only get like a week off. Will I bring Saturday's game? I will most certainly bring you a review for the Saturday game. Of course I will, Mr. Prince. But yeah, guys, I see this is a Gary Neville situation as Valencia. All right, chill, mate. Come on, chill. Chill. What if we struggle with Callum Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic outdoes him? Well, if so, then the club made a really good decision in signing Christian Pulisic, and a lot of us have overrated Callum Hudson-Odoi. But I don't think that will happen. I think their deal would be for both of them to play. For, like, you know, Hudson-Odoi to be on the left wing and Pulisic on the right wing, and then a lot of, you know, interchanging. We're playing St. Patrick's again from Ireland, Mr. Patrick Bamford. I'm so confused by your name because obviously our former striker. Where do you think we will finish? Well, I said it before. I think somewhere between 6th and 8th. I know it sounds harsh, but I'm just being as realistic as I can be because I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm just not. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Over 250 people continuously watching. I really appreciate that. Again, please do leave a like on this live stream. Do leave a like when you're watching this as a video. You know, if you haven't already, please drop a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Yeah, it's a start to a new era under Frank Lampard. It is a start to a new era. Tactically, a lot of interesting things already today. Michy Batshuayi, you already claiming that striker spot. Leave me your thoughts on everything down in the comment section below once this live stream has turned into a video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. And I'll see you when I see you, but probably either Friday or Saturday. Actually, no, I forgot to open the window where I need to close the stream. But now I'm saying goodbye and I'll see you when I see you.